Have you ever wished there was, I don't know, a shortcut, a way to get to the life you dream about, but without all the endless struggle? Maybe with some genuine ease.
Yeah, that's the dream, isn't it?
It really is. Well, today we are doing a deep dive into Marc Allen's book, The Magical Path, Creating the Life of Your Dreams and a World That Works for All. It sounds intriguing.
It really is. And look, our goal today isn't just to, review a book. We want to unpack the system he calls modern magic. It sounds maybe a bit out there, but he presents it as profound, yet actually disarmingly simple.
Okay.
So we're going to pull out the key ideas, the sort of nuggets of wisdom, so you can understand how to tap into this.
Well, he calls it a deep creative flow of life. The idea is to get surprising results, but with way more ease than you might think possible. Okay, modern magic. Let's start there. When Marc Allen uses the word magic, what are we actually talking about? Is supernatural stuff, occult?
That's a really important question to clear up right away. He's quite specific. It's not occult, not sensationalism. He defines magic simply as a vast intelligence within the forces that design and create this universe.
So less wand waving, more like the universe's operating system.
Exactly. That's a great way to put it. He suggests you could call it physics or chemistry, intelligent design, even just science or strategic planning.
Oh, okay.
The label doesn't really matter. What matters is the process recognizing this force and consciously setting it in motion. He basically says successful people often do this naturally, whether they call it magic or not. They're just tuning in.
Right, they're aligning with how things actually work. That makes sense. And he calls this the short path, which sounds pretty appealing. Why the emphasis on speed and ease?
Well, it's appealing precisely because it cuts against that grain of no pain, no gain, right? That idea that success has to be hard work and sacrifice.
Yeah, the hustle culture idea.
Totally. He specifically says this path is great for, and I quote, artists, young people, the overworked, underpaid, overwhelmed, or hopelessly lazy. Okay. He throws that last one in humorously, I think, but the point is it's for anyone looking for results without the usual burnout. Quick and easy results, genuinely.
And what makes him credible on this? I mean, did he just think this up, or?
Well, that's the thing. His own life story is kind of the biggest testament to it. He apparently started out really struggling after college, like poverty, anxiety, depression, the whole deal.
Okay.
But he says he used these exact techniques to become a millionaire, build a great family life, and found a really successful publishing company, New World Library. You've probably seen their books.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So he explicitly says this journey totally flipped his old belief that success requires hard work and sacrifice. He experienced what he calls easy success firsthand, from struggle to, well, thriving in an easy, relaxed way.
That's quite a turnaround, a total paradigm shift, really.
Yeah.
So if this short path is about ease, where do you even start? What's the fundamental principle?
He really grounds it all in this core idea, which he credits to Eckhart Tolle. It's basically, be at least as interested in what goes on inside you as what happens outside.
Yeah.
If you get the inside right, the outside will fall into place. That's the bedrock. Primary reality is within you. Everything starts as a thought, right? Or a dream, an image in your imagination, something intangible, internal. That's where creation begins.
So how do we, practically, start working with that inner reality to get the inside right?
He offers a really foundational practice. It sounds simple, maybe deceptively so. The middle pillar meditation.
Okay.
The key here isn't just like passively watching a movie in your head. It's about actively using your imagination to channel and direct your own inner energy.
How does that work?
You just visualize a bright pillar of light running down through the center of your body, top of your head to your feet. And this light isn't just pretty, it's energy. Energy you can consciously move around.
Interesting. So how would you use that directed light? What are the practical applications?
Well, there are a few key ones he outlines. First, for healing yourself, you can mentally direct that radiant light to any part of your body that needs help.
Like focusing energy there.
Exactly. You're essentially giving yourself a healing treatment. Breathing energy, warmth into that area, imagining your body's healing process is kicking into high gear.
And can you do this for other people too?
Absolutely. He suggests you can extend this healing energy to others, even if they're far away.
Really? How?
You imagine your energy field merging with theirs, becoming like one single body of light. He even suggests visualizing the light turning a deep violet color, radiating towards them, giving them exactly what they need.
Wow. Okay. That's quite something. What about, well, manifesting stuff, like abundance?
Yep. That's another application. For abundance, the idea is to visualize yourself literally being showered in this vibrant energy of wealth, of abundance, coming at you from everywhere.
Just bathing in it mentally.
Pretty much. He also mentions you could silently chant El, an old Hebrew name for God, often linked to creative power, or picture an ocean of blue light drawing everything you want towards you.
Okay. Now, you mentioned something about problem solving, an imaginary conversation. That sounds unique.
It really is fascinating. So if you're having a conflict or difficulty with someone, he suggests having an imaginary conversation with them.
Like just in your head.
Yeah, and ideally do it in the middle of the night when they're likely asleep and maybe more receptive on a subconscious level.
Whoa.
You mentally tell them your side of things calmly. Then, and this is key, you genuinely try to listen to their side, understand their perspective. You can even ask them in your mind for ideas for a solution.
And the idea is that this internal dialogue can actually shift things in the real world.
That's the claim. Often, he says, a solution that serves the highest good of all just sort of emerges from that process. And then the problem resolves, sometimes really easily, almost effortlessly, when you next interact with them in person.
It's like clearing the energetic static first.
Kind of, yeah. Sometimes just having that internal dialogue, that shift in perspective, is enough. He even suggests starting the imaginary conversation by mentally saying namaste to them, honoring the light within them to set a respectful tone.
Okay, so we've got this inner work, visualization, energy direction, but Allen also talks about the power of something very tangible. Words, affirmations.
Yes, absolutely. The book actually opens referencing that idea. In the beginning was the word. He really stresses that affirmations work because they literally make firm, but they program our conscious and subconscious minds.
Programming.
Yeah, every thought we think, every word we say, it's all input, it's all programming us constantly.
And there's actually science to back this up, isn't there? Like repeating calming words genuinely affects your physiology, reduces stress.
For sure. And so if you consciously choose words that match what you want to create more wealth, more fulfillment, better health, whatever you're actively directing, that internal programming.
So those common affirmations like every day in every way I'm getting better and better.
Or I live in an ocean of abundance, light, and love. They're not just wishful thinking in this view. They're like precise instructions for your subconscious.
You mentioned a specific story in the book about a woman manifesting financial goals. That sounded powerful.
Oh, yeah. It's a great example. This woman apparently just kept affirming steadfastly that she was paying off her home completely and having $1 million in liquid assets, like stating it as already done.
And what happened?
Well, the story goes that within just days, creative ideas started flooding her mind. And incredibly, within 2 years, her home was paid off and she had significant savings. Not quite the million, but a huge shift.
Wow.
It really illustrates that focusing your words on the good you want and repeating them consistently seems to amplify their power and open up pathways you might not have seen otherwise.
Okay, so speaking, it makes it firm, but then he takes it another step. Writing it down. Why is the written word so important here?
Writing things down gives them, well, more substance, doesn't it? It makes them feel more real, more concrete than just a fleeting thought or spoken word.
Yeah, I suppose it does.
It's like turning that wish or dream into an actual blueprint that your mind can really grab onto and work with.
So how do you start that writing process?
The first exercise he suggests is creating your ideal scene. You sit down and imagine your life, say, 5 years from now, everything has gone as perfectly as you can possibly imagine, and you write it down in detail.
5 years out. Okay.
And importantly, he says it's not etched in stone. It's a living document, something you can revisit and let evolve as you change. But the point is to create that clear, compelling vision first.
And then from that big vision, you get to specific goals.
Exactly. You take your goals, but you rewrite them in the present tense, as if they're already happening now.
Oh, like affirmations but written down.
Precisely. This transforms them from these vague, sort of ephemeral dreams into really focused thoughts, clearer pictures for your mind. And he argues that this act of writing, making them concrete, is huge for getting your subconscious to accept them as achievable, as real.
And then the how just appears. The plans.
Kind of, yeah. He says that once you have these clear written affirmations, these goals stated as reality, then simple and doable plans just start to, well, drift into your mind, as he puts it.
Like insights dropping in.
Exactly. Short, concise plans, often just a page long, like a blueprint. They help your subconscious grasp the goal and then, crucially, reveal the very next few steps you need to take. It feels quite magical, but also very practical.
So you end up with all this written stuff, the ideal scene, goals, affirmations, plans. He calls this the magician's toolkit.
Yes, that's his term for it. He advises keeping it all together, organized, in a special folder or a notebook.
Making it tangible.
Right. He apparently had a folder labeled, "I am now creating the life of my dreams" on the cover, and later added, "Magician's Toolkit." It's about creating this dedicated physical space for your intentions. He also mentions treasure mapping, using pictures from magazines, collages to make it visual, too.
That makes sense. Now, there was a really significant dream Marc Allen had, wasn't there? Something about a mountain and a cathedral. How did that shape his understanding?
That dream sounds incredibly pivotal for him. He describes climbing a mountain, finding a sword, entering this dark, narrow tunnel that feels suffocating.
Sounds intense.
Yeah, but then it opens up into this incredibly radiant, beautiful cathedral, and inside there are these tables representing different planes of existence.
Planes of existence.
Yeah, one was the astral plane, which he describes as like the energetic blueprint level, full of thought forms of gold, houses, instruments, basically, all the potential desires before they become physical.
Okay. And what was the message about that?
An inner voice told him, "There is nothing to reject in it. It is here for you to master and enjoy." Then there was another table, the spiritual plane, just shimmering light, totally empty, and the voice said, "There is nothing to attain, nothing to reject."
Wow. Deep stuff.
For him, the big takeaway was that even his fears and doubts, the struggle in the tunnel, it was all for good. It was part of the journey. And that message about mastering the astral plane, enjoying creation, while recognizing the completeness of the spiritual, it seems to have profoundly affirmed this path of easy manifestation for him.
Okay, so we focused a lot on the individual's inner world and creation. But the book also talks about relationships, right? How do they fit into this magical path?
Yeah, he makes a strong point. It's all about relationships. Your relationship with yourself, with other people, with nature, with spirit, or the universe, however you conceive it.
And the magic key there is...
Simplicity itself, really.
Right.
To create win-win partnerships based on respect for everyone, it comes right back to that core idea. Get your inner relationship right with yourself, with your intentions, and your outer relationships tend to fall into place much more harmoniously.
Get the inside right.
Yeah.
It seems to apply everywhere. Is there a practical example, maybe for work?
Definitely. He shares this great affirmation that a woman apparently used throughout her entire 30-year career. "I do wonderful work in a wonderful way with wonderful people for wonderful pay."
I like that. Covers all the bases.
Doesn't it? It's a perfect example of using affirmations to foster those win-win, respectful relationships in a professional context. And she apparently had a wonderful career.
Marc Allen also brings in the Tree of Life
Yeah.
from Kabbalah. That feels like a bit of a detour into ancient mysticism. How does he connect that to his very modern, practical magic?
It might seem like a detour, but he presents it as basically a map of creation that actually mirrors the principles he's teaching. The core teaching he pulls from it is that creation follows a pattern. It starts as a pure spiritual impulse, then it becomes a focused thought, which then gathers focused emotion and finally manifests in the physical world.
Impulse, thought, emotion, manifestation.
Exactly. And that middle pillar meditation we talked about earlier. In the Tree of Life framework, the middle pillar represents the perfect harmonious balance and combination of all those creative powers. So it ties right back in.
Okay, I see the connection now. But look, if this magic is supposed to be about ease, why do we still run into problems? Why doesn't it always work? What gets in the way?
That's a crucial question, and he addresses it directly. He basically says, any magic we perform will not be effective if we believe underneath it all that we're not capable. It's our own limiting beliefs that sabotage us.
Ah, the inner critic, the doubts.
Precisely. He uses his own past beliefs as examples, constantly feeling like there wasn't enough time or never enough money. He had to consciously work on shifting those core beliefs before he could truly master those areas.
So it's not just about doing the techniques, it's about believing you can. And changing beliefs if you don't.
Exactly right. You have to make a conscious choice to change them. He outlines a process. Identify the problem or block, really feel the emotions tied to it, notice the physical sensations, pinpoint the recurring negative thoughts, even confront the worst-case scenario your mind conjures up.
Shining a light on the fear.
Yes, because once you see those deep fears clearly, You can start affirming contradictory, empowering beliefs. You start to really internalize the idea that, as he puts it, you have everything you need in this moment to realize your greatest dreams.
That leads into another really profound concept you mentioned, is the secret form of existence. What's that about?
Okay, this one's a bit more esoteric, but it's powerful. He suggests everything has three forms: outer, inner, and secret.
Outer, inner, secret.
Right. Outer is the physical form we see. Inner is the energy, the thoughts, the emotions associated with it, constantly changing, temporary. But the secret level, that's your core essence, your true nature.
And what is that core essence?
At that secret level, he says, you are absolutely perfect right now in this moment. You're one with all that is. It's unchanging, eternal, already complete.
This is a very different perspective on who we are. How does knowing that help with creating things easily?
Well, think about it. If your fundamental nature is already perfect, complete, and one with the creative source of everything, then creating becomes less about striving and more about allowing, doesn't it? He even references deep spiritual ideas like the mantra, form is emptiness, emptiness is form.
Meaning, reality arises from potential.
Sort of, yeah, that all the forms we see are just temporary expressions of this infinite underlying potential, this emptiness, which is also fullness. Understanding this, even intellectually at first, helps dissolve the feeling that creating is hard work. It reinforces the idea that ease is possible because, at your core, you're already connected to everything and inherently capable.
Okay, that's a big idea to sit with. Finally, the book doesn't just stop at personal success. It expands the vision outward to a world that works for all. How does our individual magical path connect to that larger goal?
He makes it really clear that a truly fulfilling ideal scene isn't just about you getting yours. It has to include taking care of yourself and taking care of the rest of the world as well.
So our personal dreams should have a collective element.
Ideally, yes. The insight is that our individual transformations and creations can, and maybe should, contribute to a bigger shared vision for humanity.
Because deep down, most people want similar things on a global scale.
Exactly. He points out we all want peace and prosperity, right? We want a sustainable planet for our kids and grandkids.
Yeah, pretty much universal desires.
And he argues that the solutions aren't found through the old ways of domination and exploitation, but by working in partnership with underlying respect for each other. He believes we already have the technology and resources to feed, house, educate, and protect everyone on Earth.
So what was missing?
The only thing we lacked was the vision, he says. Now we have the vision. His point is that everyone can do something, use their own creative power, their own magic, to contribute towards building that better world. It connects the personal path directly to global well-being.
So wrapping this all up, this magical path Marc Allen describes, despite the name, sounds remarkably simple. A lot of it seems to boil down to finding the right ways to talk to ourselves, the right things to visualize.
It really does, and he cautions against underestimating its power because it's simple. Sometimes the most profound shifts come from the simplest practices done consistently.
And it all keeps coming back to that core insight, doesn't it? That quote you mentioned earlier.
If you get the inside right, the outside will fall into place. That really is the heart of it. Start within.
It really makes you think. This whole deep dive kind of invites you, the listener, to reconsider how you view reality, how you view your own potential. It reminds me of that Albert Einstein quote.
Which one?
There are only two ways to live your life. One is as though nothing is a miracle. The other is as though everything is a miracle. This path seems to be about consciously choosing the second option, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Seeing the potential for magic, for miracles in everyday life, and recognizing that you have the capacity within you to be the magician of your own reality. It's a powerful choice to consider. Which way will you choose to live?